The house stood silent, a picture-perfect facade hiding a scene of unimaginable horror. Inside, the lives of 4 young people had been brutally extinguished, their futures stolen in a storm of violence. This is the story of the Clear Lake murders, a chilling tale of betrayal, rage, and the dark side of teenage love. At the center of it all, a young woman named Christine Paolilla. Her descent into darkness would leave a community shattered and forever scarred. Christine Paolilla wasn't always a name whispered with fear. She was once a little girl with bright eyes and a shy smile. Born into a troubled family, Christine faced challenges from a young age. Her parents struggled with addiction, leaving her feeling lost and alone. She found solace in friendships, clinging to them as a lifeline in a turbulent world. But beneath the surface, a storm brewed. Insecurity and a desperate need for acceptance festered, laying the groundwork for a devastating future. Enter Christopher Snider, a charismatic and troubled young man. Christine, starved for affection and stability, fell quickly. Their relationship, however, was a powder keg. Jealousy and possessiveness ran rampant. Arguments escalated with terrifying speed. When Christopher started spending time with a new group of friends, Christine's world crumbled. Consumed by rage and fear of abandonment, a terrifying plan began to form in her mind. A plan fueled by obsession and a chilling disregard for human life. July 18, 2003. A date that would forever be marked by tragedy and sorrow. A day forever etched in the memory of Clear Lake, Texas. The small, tight-knit community would never be the same. Under the sweltering Texas sun, Christine Paolilla, accompanied by her accomplice, arrived at the home of Christopher's friends. The air was thick with tension, though the neighborhood remained blissfully unaware of the impending horror. Inside, unsuspecting victims went about their day, completely oblivious to the danger that was about to shatter their lives. They laughed, talked, and enjoyed each other's company, never imagining the nightmare that was about to unfold. They had no idea of the evil lurking just beyond the doorstep. The sinister presence of Christine and her accomplice cast a dark shadow over the home, a prelude to the chaos that was about to erupt. What followed was a massacre. The tranquility of the day was shattered by violence and bloodshed. Gunshots ripped through the air, each one a nail hammered into the coffin of innocence. The sound of bullets echoed through the neighborhood, a grim symphony of destruction. 4 lives extinguished in an instant. Tiffany Rowell and Rachel Colarutis, both 18, and Marcus Purcella, 19. Their dreams, hopes, and futures were stolen in a moment of senseless violence. Christopher Snider, Christine's obsession, also lay dead. The community was left to grapple with the aftermath, mourning the loss of their loved ones and trying to make sense of the incomprehensible. The pain and grief were palpable, a heavy burden that would linger for years to come. Section 5. Whispers of suspicion and a trail of evidence. News of the murders spread like wildfire, leaving a community reeling. Who could commit such a horrific act? Whispers soon turned to suspicion. Christine's tumultuous relationship with Christopher became a focal point. The investigation intensified. Detectives worked tirelessly, piecing together the puzzle. Evidence mounted, painting a grim picture of Christine's involvement. A warrant was issued. The hunt was on. Section 6. The escape and the capture. But Christine had vanished. She seemed to have disappeared without a trace, leaving everyone baffled and desperate for answers. She had disappeared into the wind, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. The streets she once roamed were now empty, echoing the mystery of her sudden disappearance. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The case went cold. Hope dwindled. The investigators were left with nothing but dead ends and fading leads. The community, once gripped by fear, began to lose hope, then a break. A tip led authorities to a small town in Texas. It was a quiet place, far removed from the chaos of her past. The tip seemed almost too good to be true, but the authorities had to follow it. There, Hiding in plain sight was Christine Paolilla. She had managed to blend into the community, living a life that seemed normal to those around her. But the facade couldn't last forever. Gone was the teenage girl. The years had changed her, both physically and mentally. The innocence of youth had been replaced by the hardened look of a fugitive. In her place stood a woman, hardened by years on the run, forever marked by the darkness she had unleashed. Her eyes told the story of a life lived in shadows, a life that had finally caught up with her. The capture marked the end of a long and arduous journey, both for Christine and for those who had been seeking justice. Section 7. Life Imprisoned, Justice and Remorse. Christine Paolilla stood trial for her crimes. The courtroom was heavy with grief and anger. The evidence was overwhelming. The jury's verdict was swift, guilty. Christine was sentenced to life in prison, her freedom forever forfeited for the lives she had taken. From behind bars, she expressed remorse, her words a hollow echo in the face of such unimaginable loss. Section 8. The Victims Remembered, a Community in Mourning. The Clear Lake murders left a community shattered. 4 young lives filled with promise and potential were brutally extinguished. Families were left to grapple with unimaginable grief, their wounds still raw even after all these years. Yet amidst the pain, there was a glimmer of hope. The victims, each one unique and cherished, were not forgotten. Their memories lived on, kept alive by loved ones determined to honor their legacy. Section 9. The Enduring Mystery Unanswered Questions. Despite the passage of time, questions linger. What drove Christine Paolilla to such a horrific act? Was it jealousy, rage, or something even darker lurking beneath the surface? The answers, shrouded in the complexities of the human psyche, remain elusive. The Clear Lake murders serve as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can reside within the human heart and the devastating consequences of unchecked rage. Section 10. Lessons from a Nightmare, Love, Loss, and Evil. The tragedy of the Clear Lake murders offers a chilling glimpse into the destructive power of obsession and the fragility of life. It underscores the importance of recognizing the warning signs of domestic violence and the need for intervention before it's too late. It also highlights the enduring strength of the human spirit, the capacity for love and forgiveness even in the face of unimaginable loss. Section 11. Reflections on a Tragedy, the Ripple Effect of Murder. The story of the Clear Lake murders is not just about the tragic loss of lives. It is about the far-reaching consequences that ripple through the fabric of a community. The impact of the Clear Lake murders extends far beyond the immediate victims. Families were torn apart, friendships shattered, and a once peaceful neighborhood was plunged into a state of fear and uncertainty. It left an indelible mark on the community, a chilling reminder that evil can touch even the most idyllic of places. The serene streets and friendly faces could no longer mask the underlying sense of dread that had taken hold. It forced a reckoning with the dark undercurrents of society and the importance of vigilance. People began to question their own safety and the safety of their loved ones, realizing that no place is truly immune to the threat of violence. And it served as a catalyst for conversations about mental health, the criminal justice system, and the importance of seeking help before it's too late. The tragedy highlighted the need for better mental health resources, more effective law enforcement, and a community that looks out for one another. It was a stark reminder that we must address these issues head-on to prevent future tragedies and to heal the wounds left behind by such senseless acts of violence.